Hi everyone, DelVecchio here, coming to you live from Sedona, Arizona, and virtually on Priestess School on Facebook. And I titled today's topic, How to Avoid Unwanted Drama. I thought this would be a good topic since the holidays are coming up, and it's always interesting to, interesting is a sort of meaningless word, really. It's unfortunate to see how many people experience the holiday season in the West as a point of anxiety or conflict or struggle or drama. So that drama could be around family get-togethers. For a lot of people, it's that. You know, there's an old saying that is, if you think you're enlightened, go spend a week with your family. But there's also drama around other things, and we're past this time, but you know, in the States, there's this whole nonsense around Black Friday and people doing battle to buy crap. And there's drama also around, it can be anything. Scorekeeping around gift buying, stressing out about buying gifts because of the cost involved, debt associated with that, all of that. That's one aspect of drama that I'm referring to, but I'm going deeper than that. It's not just about holiday drama. This is really about drama in our lives, conflict with people, stress around relationships, stress around certain circumstances. So again, the topic is how to avoid unwanted drama. So I'm going to go in and connect and bring something through in as clear a way as possible. So the first point that comes through is that it's really, if you want to avoid drama, the first step really is to recognize that drama is not something that happens out there and you're a victim of it. You are engaging in a vibrational match to it and therefore in some way co-creating it. So this video could actually be more accurately titled, How to Stop Creating Drama in Your Life. And that can be really uncomfortable for people to be in some kind of ownership of that. But it's really important to look at ownership around this, because if we see everything out there as causing us to be a victim of it, then we actually don't have control of anything. And that's really pretty far from the truth. So, hey, Susan, hi, welcome. Okay, so the first thing is, this is really more about how to stop creating drama in your life. The next point is, in order to really shift and reduce, if not eliminate entirely, drama from your life experience, it's a matter of beginning to actually look at your thoughts. Look at your thoughts when you're not paying attention to them. And I know you've heard me say this same iteration in different ways, because this is really about coming back to the ownership of our power to create our reality. You know, it's interesting because so many people are into the secret. They're into this idea of the law of attraction, that if I think of things, you know, if I want, you know, I have this beautiful gift from my dear friend Mindy. So let's say I'm like, I really want one of these orgonite things. I'm going to visualize it into being. And on some level we think, yeah, I can use the law of attraction and create what I want. But the thing is, the law of attraction works all the time, whether you're paying attention or not. And the law of attraction, the laws of creation, are based on frequency, not on what your mantra, your conscious mantra is. So the thoughts that you're thinking when you're not paying attention to what you're thinking are triggering and setting up chemical reactions in your body that are triggering emotional states. Those emotional states begin to emanate frequency, and that frequency going out is magnetic as an electrical energy, electrically sending out the frequencies of the things that you're thinking when you don't even know you're thinking, that create an emotional state that send out the electromagnetic frequency, and the magnetism pulls back to you frequency matches to what it is you're running. So if you've got a lot of drama going on in your life, then you have a choice. You can choose the powerless victim role and say, it's not my shit, it's their shit. Why does this always happen to me? Oh my gosh, I can't do this job, this boss, this person, this, that. And it can get very complex. There can be all these intricacies to a situation, right? And so it can really seem like it's coming from out there. But if that is your belief, if you've got a lot of drama going on in your life, a lot of struggles and traumas, difficulties, challenging relationships, toxic relationships, and you're not taking responsibility for that, you're saying like, it's not me, then how could you possibly expect the law of attraction to work when you go, I call forth a new car, I call forth a new car, I call forth a new car? Because it's frequency. It's not just about the conscious thoughts or mantras. So how do we avoid unwanted drama? We, first of all, recognize that it's not something out there that we have to tiptoe around or go down a different avenue. We have to change our frequency inside so we're no longer a vibrational match to drama. And that requires work. That requires disciplined focus and a commitment to feeling better, a commitment to not being a victim anymore, a commitment to really activating our true creative powers as spirits, eternal beings, magical, powerful, divine creator beings in form. So we have been indoctrinated on this planet for a very long time to see each other as separate, to mistrust others, to set up camps of us and them, to blame others for our problems, and to continually allow toxic patternings of thoughts, violence, hate, judgment, criticism to run in the background of our minds. Now, I'm not saying everybody does this all the time, but you will know your frequency by the fruits that your life bears. So if your life is mostly, for the most part, very beautiful and peaceful, then you can expect that a lot of the frequency that you're emanating is of that nature. But most of us have a mix. We have a mixed bag. We have some really beautiful, amazing things, and we have some, stuff that comes up, drama. Maybe it's in our families, maybe it's during the holidays, or maybe it's other stuff. So we really, it's really, it's like taking life, taking the game, the experience of life to an entirely new level. And it's a level of profound personal ownership and personal responsibility for every aspect of our lives. So how do we avoid unwanted drama? I keep repeating the thread because I know people are coming and going through this. We first recognize it's not about avoiding, it's about no longer being a vibrational match, which means that we have to look at our subconscious thoughts in our minds and begin to change them, to begin to look at where am I in criticism and judgment of others? Where does my ego mind come in and want to attack others when I feel in defense? So I'm going to share a little story here, and it was an amazing thing. About a week ago, I got to witness this. This was not I was involved peripherally, only that I was present in it. So there was an accident that happened that caused one person to have a piece of expensive equipment to be damaged by another person. It was in a business setting. And this one person was really uncomfortable. There was no clear-cut agreement about this. There were no terms. There was no clarity in the situation. So the one brought it up to the other, like, what should we do about this? The person who caused the damage went into defensive mode, and in that defensive mode, about a couple hours later, created and sent an email that was it was an entire invention and based on a series of fear-based assumptions about that other person. So one person makes a mistake. They're confronted by the other saying, hey, what should we do about this? I don't know what to do about this. This one gets on the defensive, attacks in fear, attacks the character, makes assumptions. So then what happens is this other person, they get afraid. Then they start judging that person's character. And then you see what we have here. Then we have, well, that person shouldn't have blah, 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 blah. Well, this person shouldn't have blah, 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 blah. And two egos start attacking each other in the battlefield. Is anything solved by this? No. A whole bunch of drama went down. A whole bunch of nonsense that had nothing to do with, hey, I'm feeling uncomfortable. Yeah, I'm feeling uncomfortable too. We got the situation here. Well, let's figure out how we can fix it. What feels right to you? Well, that doesn't feel right to me. There was no, now I'm happy to report that that's no longer the case. Resolution is coming. But not before hours of absurd ego drama. And I say absurd, I'm not insulting these people. They're both lovely people. What I'm saying is that the ego mind, when it feels attacked, gets into the defensive mode. And unless you have the higher mind to go, wait a minute here, I'm not going down into the battlefield. If you don't have that oversoul consciousness to pay attention to that, or maybe oversoul is not the right word, like the higher consciousness, what's going to happen is you go, oh my God, that person attacked my character and made up all this shit about me. Well, look at what they did and blah, 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 and start to attack back. And then so it goes back and forth and back and forth and back and forth ad nauseum. Drama. So really we are living in times, my dear sisters and brother friends, where we are being called to start to really recognize this crazy ego mind and its desire to attack, defend, and feel separate. And we have to understand that everything in our system, if you're a media watcher at all, mainstream media watcher, you are getting indoctrinated left, right, and center into separation, hate, judgment, and attack. Even if you have a beautiful, happy, kind face on the outside, if secretly in the back of your mind you're judging other people, you're keeping opinions, some people are good, some people are bad, holding, off, having an encounter with someone and then making up whole back stories about why they're this bad person, or they're nice, but all that energy, that's all crazy ego mind. And we're all trained to do that. We're trained in school, in childhood, mainstream religions, mainstream media. Most of our families have trained us that way. And so, I know I'm kind of beaten up on the ego here. So I'm going to get to that in a minute, because I want to address that. If people are saying, well, we need our ego and blah, blah, blah. So give me a minute. Let me shelve that for a moment. We are being called to an entire new level of awareness. If you want peace in your life, if you really, really want peace in your life, you have to be peace within. And that means that part of the mind that wants to attack and defend and see everything as danger, 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 needs to be reined in with a higher level of consciousness than the consciousness within which it grew. Okay? So the ego mind. Yes, there's a part of us that is an ego that is protecting us from danger. The ego's job is to keep the body alive, to keep this vessel alive, to keep us going. And so on the wonderful side of that is that the ego can drive the car and have quick reaction if something's, coming out of left field, like a car's coming, oop, put on the brakes, these kind of things. The ego, we were living in times where we had to worry about danger of some kind, of a lion or a tiger or a bear, the ego would, is that part of us that's paying attention and aware for those things, protecting the family, all of that. The problem is that the ego is completely out of control, and it's indoctrinated to be that way, to constantly be entertained by violence, attack, separation. How many movies okay, well, it's a happy ending, the good guy wins in the end. Yeah, after killing the bad guys. This is all violence, hate, attack. And it all feeds this part of our minds that need not be so big and out of control. That is the part that is co-creating a violent, hateful, attack-filled, frightening world. And when we really start to own it, personally within, own the ways our own mind can go into attack, go into judgment, justification, hateful thoughts, even though we may never say them. The more we own that and the more we are able to clear it, heal it, and forgive ourselves, the more peaceful our lives become. And I'm not saying this is theory. I'm saying this is because this is what I'm living. This is what I'm sharing with you because this is what I'm living. The more I take any conflict situation and bring it within and make a conscious choice not to counterattack, not to go into the battlefield, even in the silence of my mind, but instead choose prayer, choose to call in my guides, choose for the higher path, and then forgive myself for the way that I am an energetic match to that. Maybe not with that person, but energetically somewhere else in my life, I'm a frequency match to it. The more I do that work, the more peaceful my life becomes. That's not all peaches and cream. You know, I have life challenges, as we all do. And I can tell you that I'm a very different person than I was 12 months ago. I have more peace. I have more peaceful people coming into my life. I have more beautiful opportunities being brought my way. I have more calmness. My health is improved. I feel unfearful anymore. I feel like fear has gone away a lot. And I've done as many of you know who listen to my videos, I'm deeply dedicated to my practice of A Course in Miracles and the forgiveness practice. That is a part of that. And understanding the true nature of our reality, which is not dualistic, which is that we are creating it all, and everything out there is a character or a piece of my play reflecting something in me. So as I change within, what's outside of me changes. But the triggers, if you will, or the what do you call them, like the focal points that allow me to go inward to do that healing work are the dramas, are the conflicts, are the shocking attacks that I've experienced. Those have been, believe it or not, the gifts of my healing path. And I know maybe that sounds crazy in some ways, but I tell you the truth of my experience. So the way that I am avoiding unwanted drama is by eliminating it within the secret hidden places of my mind. And the way that I began this path was by getting a boatload of drama, a truckload of drama dropped on my doorstep. That's how it began for me. And so that's my path. That's what I wanted to share. So again, one final iteration here before I wrap up. How to avoid unwanted drama? Stop co-creating it. How to stop co-creating it? Go within. Don't go down into the battlefield. The next time you're faced with a drama, a conflict, an unresolved issue, instead of engaging either with that person or that situation directly or silently in your mind, letting that ego run wild with all the reasons why they're wrong and they're bad and they're a bad character anyway and you're right and all that stuff. Instead of going there at all, just go, that's the battlefield. I don't need to go there. What I need to do is watch my own mind and look at what my response is and ask myself, where am I a vibrational match to this? Where is this true? And go deeply, deeply inward. And whatever arises, love, forgive, and accept yourself, recognizing that we have all been trained to do this. There's no point in saying, all right, well, I won't go counterattack that person or judge them. I'm just going to beat myself up instead for creating it. No, that does no good either. This is about really looking at, wow, I've been a frequency match for a certain kind of energy and I'm really ready to let that go. So I'm going to dig deeply within. I'm going to lovingly, lovingly recognize that, of course, I've made mistakes. I've been a frequency match to some drama I don't want anymore. Where do I need healing and care within so that I no longer need to run up against this kind of stuff? So I hope that makes sense. I pray this makes sense. I wish all of you a joyful holiday season, whatever that means for you, or not. If you don't really celebrate, I don't really celebrate. Well, I celebrate because I get to go to Thailand. So, and I wish for all of you to surrender with grace and ease and love and self-love and forgiveness and care, deep care, the parts of your mind that are fearful enough to want to attack and defend and play that old game. Let us live in peace. Let us live in peace within first, that we may be a frequency match for peace on the outside of our lives. Okay, sending you all and each much love. Thank you, Susan, Helen, Jennifer, for being here. And those of you who watch later on, thank you, thank you. Sending you all a lot of love. Mwah. Bye for now.